for Life family. How's everybody doing? Good evening. Um, Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Um, haven't seen me in a while. Um, I've been off the, can't say off the grid. Um, my wife and I had the absolute pleasure of going to Japan um, the last week and a half to visit with our grandbabies. And my son lives in Japan and got to meet my 4-month-old grandbabies for the first time. And I'm still on Japanese time, so I'm exhausted, very tired, but happy and overjoyed to be back home, happy and overjoyed to have met my grandchildren, beautiful grandbabies, Kiko and Renzo. Um, Man, I'm just so overjoyed to finally be a grandfather. But I wanted to pop on really quick, and I see my sister from another Mister just joined, and I'm going to add her in a couple of minutes. My name is Jerome, founder and CEO of Buy Black for Life, and I wanted to talk about um, this economic protest that we have going on. I'm gonna bring Natasha on. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Natasha, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jerome. Good evening. How are you
Evening, my
doing?
sister.
Good to
Welcome.
see you. Thank you for
Same
having me.
here. Of course, you are someone I love, honor, and respect. We've been friends for more than 20 years. I don't know if you realize the numbers, but I do. But I just got so much love and respect for you. So I wanted to bring you on because there was a post that you had concerning this economic protest that seems to be going on. And, leading up to it, I've been getting a lot of inboxes, text messages, emails about what I'm going to do with respect to it. And to be frank with you, I was confused why people would ask me in everything that I do and the platform that I have, like, what are you going to do, Jerome? What do you think about this? So I was, I'll admit, I was really surprised people would ask me, like, I'm Buy Black for Life. I've been here for going on 5 years. I know some of the things you've been doing it longer. So if you don't mind, with respect to this topic, because we've talked about it amongst each other on social media, why don't you share with us what your thoughts are on this economic protest that we are about to go into?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Um, yeah, so I've been seeing posts on different social media platforms about the 1 day uh, no buy on February 28th. And it's kind of rubbed me the wrong way because 1 day is not going to do anything. We need a sustained and strategic boycott. And when you think of the Montgomery bus boycott that lasted over a year,
Right.
that every Black person in that community buckled down,
Yes.
inconvenienced themselves for a sustained period of time in order to get the change they wanted.
Right.
It did it for 1 day, nothing would have happened.
Hmm.
Us doing a 1 day stoppage is not going to change anything, especially because in a lot of posts I've seen, they're saying, buy things you need leading up to the 28th. So you're still spending your money at all the same places you've been spending,
Right.
and then
Right.
just 1 day, just don't buy anything.
Right.
How are companies going to feel the impact of that?
Exactly. Exactly. And
We
and I
to
go
focus
ahead. I'm sorry.
on, you know, changing your spending habits so that you can do that for a long period of time to show the economic impact that the Black community has on the economy
Yes.
when we do a sustained stoppage of companies that support Trump,
Yes.
of companies that voluntarily rolled back their DEI programs. You know, they didn't really want to have it. They were just looking for an excuse.
Exactly. For them to get rid of it as easily as it did, that told me they weren't really in on it.
Right.
Yes.
So, I've been strategic about my spending for many years.
Hmm.
I have family and friends in the LGBTQ community. As soon as I found out that Chick-fil-A uses their profit to fund anti-LGBTQ hate groups, I stopped going there.
Yes.
Their
Yes.
chicken is not that good for them to turn and use that money to hurt people I love,
Yes. Yes.
who just want to be treated like the rest of us.
Yes. Come on now. Come on.
So Chick-fil-A has been boycotted by me for decades.
Yes.
Starbucks, when they had those two Black men arrested who were waiting for a business associate to show up before they ordered, I stopped patronizing Starbucks.
Yes.
And I was a huge Starbucks mug collector. I was in all sorts of groups, trading and buying, cut it all off
Yes.
in that instant. They get no more of my money. McDonald's, they were supporting the troops in Israel
Yes.
against the genocide of Palestinians. As soon as I found that out, and I loved McDonald's, but they got cut off in an instant.
Love this.
I'm voting.
Please talk
with
about
my
the football as well, please, because
football.
I never saw it from the perspective you shared even further back. I started at Kaepernick, but you started earlier than that. Please talk about that.
Okay, so I fell out with the NFL back when Ray Rice had knocked his fiance out in the elevator. The NFL saw that video. They gave him, I believe it was a 4-game suspension.
Actually, it started at 7 and then they reduced it. Yeah. Once
Okay.
once the video. So I believe they saw that video, but it's once we saw the video.
We saw it, they increased the punishment.
There you go. Correct.
Saw it only. He got the same suspension as someone who got caught smoking marijuana.
Yes.
That's when I started my boycott of the NFL, because I said, if you don't care enough about women's lives, then you're not going to get this woman's money or viewership any longer.
Yes. So I don't know if you also know
blacked out the NFL since then.
I don't know if you know this story also with respect to the NFL. And this happened around the same time that they, and I will no longer say blacklisted, when they whitelisted Colin Kaepernick out of the NFL. There was a kicker, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, who played for the New York Giants. And this kicker was at the Pro Bowl that year. And he was so abusive to his wife and his family, they had to get NFL security to go to Hawaii in order to get his wife and his children away from him. They still allowed him to play in that Pro Bowl, and the Giants even extended his contract. It was only when it became public, did they cut him. Now, this is around the time where Colin Kaepernick, a silent protest, and I say silent because he He was basically sitting weeks before anyone even said anything, and then finally he was asked about it. And since then, we all know what has happened to him and his career.
Right.
So, you talking about Ray Rice was for me an eye opener. And let's be 100. We both were big football fans.
Yeah.
Me, I mean, I have a dog named Dallas. Okay, because I was a big Dallas Cowboys football fan. That's how big of a fan I was of the NFL. I have not watched. And there were people that were in that chat that you had that initially were aboard and along the ride of protesting with me. And that didn't last very long for them. I
Mm.
still haven't watched. And
Yeah.
you know who I'm talking about, and I'm not going to say the person's name. So, when he came and he asked me and you, were we going to protest? I was really confused. Like, have you been watching what I do? Like, and I don't know, and I'm glad you shared your feelings because we see eye to eye on this topic. And I don't know. I'm gonna share something with you you may not know. Yeah, I know you don't know. When I was going to start Buy Black for Life, I was going to start it Juneteenth of 2020. But then I said, wait a minute, we can't remove our economic power for a short period of time. You and I are financial people. We work for financial companies, right?
Right.
So I said, this can't be a 1 week or 1 month thing. It has to be sustained. It has to be something that we start changing our habits. It
Right.
has to be something that we have. There is a mindset out there that white is better. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all of these high end brands are somehow considered better than a black brand. And we as black people, we buy into it because we buy those products. Let's call a thing a thing.
Even
So,
though some of those products owners, like what's his name, Michael Kors, has come out and specifically said he doesn't make his products for Black people.
and we're still
So guess
buying them.
what? Not getting my Black dollars.
And to be honest with you, because I love financial literacy, all that buying these valuable things are to our community are false images of wealth.
Right.
Simple and plain. And we've worked with wealthy clients. You're not going to see wealthy clients carrying stuff like that. That's just not what real wealth is silent.
Right.
Hood wealth is really loud. And that's what we have got to understand. We have got to understand a protest like this needs not be for one day.
Exactly. I mean, you look even just this year, but just in the last month, when people have buckled down and boycotted Target, they've lost
Their stock.
what, 15 million?
Their share
Or
their
one,
board is their shareholders are very upset.
yes,
Very upset.
maybe even over a short 1 month period,
Yes.
by people banding together and being serious about not patronizing Target, it's had a huge effect on their bottom line.
Yes.
Look at Tesla.
Oh,
People
Tesla.
have stopped buying Tesla.
And it's
Canada
global.
imports of Tesla. I believe Germany has also. It's had a crippling effect
Yes.
on Tesla stock.
It's not a one day.
Exactly.
But here's something I wanted to ask you and get your thoughts on. Because I'm feeling that us announcing in such a wide range via social media what we're going to do, that's not effective either. the revolution needs not to be advertised. If we're going to have a true revolution, we need to move in silence. When we move in the way that we move with respect to announcing it on social media, it gives them time to prepare. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I agree with you. That's true. Yes, the challenge is finding exclusive spaces for us,
Yes.
because everywhere we try to create our own spaces, we get infiltrated
Yeah.
by people who claim they're allies. And you cannot self appoint yourself as an ally.
We have to appoint you as that.
Right. The group you are trying to be an ally for needs to designate you as such
Yes.
by way of your actions.
Correct.
Putting on your pink pussy hats and blue bracelets and safety pins, you're not an ally. That's performative nonsense. When it's down to it, are you putting your body on the line for Black lives? Those folks are going crazy right now, asking, "Where's Kamala Harris? Where are the Black women? We need you to lead us. We need you to." No, no, no,
Please
no.
sit it out. We're sitting it
It was
out.
told y'all. You had your chance to have Kamala lead you. You voted for race over gender.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We can't trust you. You don't listen to us. Why should we continue to put ourselves on the line to save you from what you voted for? Because you
Natasha.
thought it was okay when you thought it wasn't going to apply
Wanted
to
exactly.
you. Now that y'all are getting treated like Black people, you crying out to us for help. We're resting. We
No.
did what we were supposed
We
to
did
do.
our part. 92%. I love y'all. 92%. I love y'all. I keep saying. But you touched on something that I think is important. And when I have a chance to speak to our mutual friend, I need for him to understand this. Being a social media activist means nothing to me. Like you said, and my mother taught me this, and this is the realest thing my mother ever taught me, because I've been in activism, been doing community work since I was 11. My mother told me, if you're not willing to die for a cause that you are a part of, do not get yourself involved.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm willing to die for this. I
Me.
am willing to stand in front for my people to prosper, for my people to understand that our economic power holds so much valued power. It's not even funny. They don't want us to buy black, Natasha. They don't want us to buy black. We have I've said this for 5 years now. We financed our own oppression.
Yeah. Our dollars spend the least amount of time in our communities.
7 hours.
And
And
then
the next slowest ethnic group, 16 days.
that's a huge difference.
That's huge.
And one
That means we can't own our education, we can't own our homes, we can't own our politicians, we can't own our there's so much we cannot own because it's
we're not
going
supporting our own communities, and we're
now.
not giving grace to the Black businesses that are out there. That's something else I
Please
mentioned.
preach on that. Preach on that.
You know, we want to focus on supporting Black businesses, but a lot of us are not willing to give Black businesses grace.
Let them mess up one time, we're out.
Right. You know, they're usually, 1, 2 person shops. Their turnaround time is going to be longer than a
Yes,
large multinational company.
absolutely.
A lot of us will
Absolutely.
give them the grace to take the time they need to get their product out to us because, oh, Amazon can get it to us the next day.
Yeah,
Um,
but Amazon is taking your money and they're using your money to finance your oppression. We
right.
we don't see it. We don't
Right.
understand it.
No, we need to open more eyes in the community. You know, these small Black businesses, they don't have the access to cash to purchase their materials at the price breaks that these large
Large
companies
companies.
can. So yeah,
Correct. Yes.
they are going to cost more.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
putting in their own backbreaking sweat and labor, and they deserve to get paid for that.
But again, Natasha, they're willing to pay $700-800 for a pair of shoes, right? So we can't say that our people are not willing to pay it, because you'll pay it if it's a white brand, but you're not for someone who has put their blood, sweat, and tears in making this product for you. I take issue with that. I do. Really and truly do. I it's upset. Do I have some old pieces that, yeah, I do. But the large majority of stuff that, by far, it's Black owned. I mean, I'm wearing a hoodie from an organization in New York Urban League that I volunteer with, right? I mean, I am a walking bulletin board for Black owned business every single day.
Mhm.
And I I I we need to, it can't be one day, Natasha.
No, it can't. One day is not going to do anything.
Can't be one day.
It's a mindset change. And some people may need to ease into it, but you need to make the effort.
I've been here for 5 years, Natasha. I've been giving them every option. I have over 160,000 plus business owners and community, right? When we were early in the pandemic, people were selling out of their products. They were selling out their products. I thought, wow, this is going to be something great. I created an app. I have an app, Black owned app, not only Black owned, Black built. The 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 developer is a Black man.
Okay.
I am wearing his headphones. He's down there in South Carolina. Black owned, right? Where I gotta beg people to come to my platform and put their business onto my directory. Why am I begging you for something you don't have to pay for?
Right.
I shouldn't. Friends and family, y'all know I have this platform. Why am I begging y'all to come over here? You really don't want it then. I have a community. You really don't want this then, because
Mm.
that's what it's
So,
showing me.
arguing with people Harriet would have shot.
I love that. I love that. I love it. Yes, yes. I love that. Yeah, I'm so tired. I really am tired. Um, Whatever's gonna happen Friday, I've already been doing. I bring my lunch from home. I make my food from home. If I'm going to the office, I don't think I'm going in the office Friday. I mean, my car's been gassed up. I drive it on the weekends only, so I'm not buying gas. But guess what? Saturday, everybody's going right back to doing what they were doing.
Right.
What sense does it make?
Exactly.
So, tell me, in a perfect world, Natasha, what is it we could do that we could turn this thing so that our people will pay attention? What are your feelings?
Hmm. That's a good question.
Because
Um,
we have Black businesses out there.
yeah, and I honestly don't know how to open people's eyes who
We
may
are
be
so brainwashed.
ignorant.
Mm, mm.
I've been doing activism for many years. Um, we have outside of Buy Black for Life, there are a lot of Facebook groups,
Yes.
city by city
Yes.
that have Black business directories.
Mhm.
So I know if I'm needing services
That's where I'm going.
my home or yard, I'm going and asking what Black business can, give me an estimate for that
Yes.
work, because
Yes.
that's where to spend my dollars.
Yes.
And believe me, when they come over, I go outside, I casually inspect their vehicle, because I had a Black Trumper come and give me an estimate. And I just strolled around, looked at his vehicle, saw he had his Trump stickers all around there, thanked him kindly for providing his estimate, and did not use him.
Wow. A Black Trumper.
Yep.
Well, when they were at the White House last week, I believe, a whole lot of them, which
Yeah.
blows my mind.
And you have so many Black restaurant directories. So I try to make sure if I'm going to eat out somewhere, let me support somebody in my community.
Yes.
Let
Yes.
them get.
Yes. Yes. How are you during this time maintaining, keeping your peace? How are you um able to navigate the craziness that has been for a month and a half now?
A very different approach from the first time around, because it drove me crazy. I was anxious every day about what I was going to wake up to.
The first time around or this time?
The first time around,
Hmm.
I was angry, I was anxious. I was out in the streets protesting. Like you said, your mom said, if you're not ready to die for a cause,
Don't
don't bother
go.
participating in it. And I told my family, I'm ready to die for this.
Yes.
I've lived a good life.
Amen.
This is worth dying for. So
Yes.
yeah, I'll be out in those streets. I've gotten gassed um, with pepper spray and
Pepper spray.
all
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Um, I've left my will out on my table. I have left bail money out on my table. And if anything happens,
Yeah.
this is where my stuff is.
Yeah.
So you can either get me out of jail, or if I suffer a fate worse, here's how you split up my assets.
Yes. I love it. I
But you
love
got
it.
on for the cause and
For the
serious.
cause. Yeah.
It's not a game. People keep saying, oh, we're not our ancestors. Look at what they went through.
They have no idea what that statement means.
I mean, not even during slavery times, but just look at what they went through during civil rights movements.
They have no idea when they make that statement what that they have no idea.
Oh,
No idea.
blow your skin off your body. The dogs biting you, the beatings, the murders. Our ancestors went through hell to get the rights that are now being eroded.
Yes.
We can't be passive about this.
No.
It is time to rise up.
Yes.
The problem is when we have prominent Black organizers on the scene or gaining traction, next thing you know, they're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm willing to die for it. Come get me. I'm ready. But when you come, it's not gonna be easy.
No,
Not gonna be
that's
easy.
why
And I know what you do when you go to your range. I already know. I already know.
trying. You need to be armed and ready, because you
Ready.
know
Yes.
they're not coming, like man on man,
No.
someone
No.
similar size for an equal fight. They're
No.
coming 2 and 3 on 1 to a Black woman
Yeah.
at the station.
Yes.
Sisters have to be armed up and ready.
Ready. Ready. So how is it? So you talked about how you felt the first time. How is this time different?
I am disengaging from social media and news.
Mhm.
Um, so that I it's not a constant bombardment of, oh my God, what do
Right,
we do now? Oh my God,
right, right. The
that-
new low. The new low. Yes.
I'm trying to keep my head in the game, stay positive, work on strategies I can work on to try to help us improve as a community, but
Mhm.
I'm not laser focused on him because he's a distraction. All the things he's doing day by day is distracting us from other nefarious activity that's happening in the background.
Correct.
Hasn't yet come to light.
Yes. And it's coming.
Yep, it's
It's
coming.
so what I've done, and um, it's a blessing. My wife put a book in my hand. It's called Let Them, right? This this is certainly different, like you said, from the first time to now. And Let Them basically says you cannot control what they, whoever they may be, does. So Jerome, you have to let them be and do whoever they are. Do you know how freeing that is to my mind, body, and spirit?
Hmm.
Let them, right? Because at the end of the day, guess what I can control? Nothing. Therefore, my work is on the grassroots level. My work is where I can't be seen in what it is that I'm doing. So my recommendation when people are approaching me about what should I do is find an organization to work with and support because there are people coming up behind us that are going to need you,
Right.
right? So
An organization
yes,
that you
yes,
feel passionate about.
right, yes. I know you were with the ACLU, right? You were working with them.
Yes, I was on the ACLU's executive board for several years before they disbanded the Charlotte chapter.
Okay,
Since then, I've been on the executive board of Freedom Fighting Missionaries
okay,
and the Black People's Community Justice Center.
love it.
They work specifically with the reentry population,
Got you. Okay, that's
and that
important.
work is needed all across the country.
Yes,
They're grassroots organizations. Do you know that 80% of the people in jail are not there because they were convicted of a crime?
it's still waiting trial.
They're there because they can't afford bail.
Yep, yep, yes,
The majority of them are Black.
yes.
You think about Khalif Browder. I mean, that just brings me to tears when I think about him and how he spent 3 years in jail, most of that time in solitary confinement,
Over
because
a knapsack.
nobody in his family could afford the $300 bail.
Yeah.
So the organizations I work with, we do community support to raise money to bail people out.
Yes.
We're running, a pauper's jail now.
Yeah.
Raise money to bail people out, to get people to come to court dates.
Families to come to court dates, you mean?
Not even families, community members.
Ah, got you.
Uh, Judges tend to be more lenient with bail and bond amounts and sentencing.
When they see a
They
community.
see the person has community support, particularly if they see a lot of white faces in support
Mm,
of a Black defendant.
interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Like, see eyes on them, then they tend to be, I wouldn't even say more lenient. They tend to do things more in line with what they would do with a white
White
defendant.
person. Yeah. Because I am very clear about looking at the FBI statistics that shows me that 70% of the violent crimes in this country are committed by white males.
Exactly. But,
But yet, the prison is populated with people that look like you and I.
right.
The math is not mathing to me. It's not mathing. And I even saw this woman who put something on Threads, I want to say that it is, and she talks about the fact that she lives in a predominantly white neighborhood and she could walk down the street with her expensive bag and this, that, and the other. And I had to respond to her, you are more likely to be a victim of a crime by 80% more likely to be a victim of a crime by somebody that looks like you than somebody that looks like me. So,
Exactly.
lady, please cut it out. Please
Yeah. Always
stop.
back on black crime. Most crime is interracial because you live in proximity of people who look like you. They don't call it white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime.
And that's why I say there's no such thing as black on black crime. There's crime.
Right.
Full stop. And again, it's about proximity to those that look like you. It's natural. So yeah. In the next couple of minutes, I just want you to share some, again, what organizations you are part of, what it is that you do out in the community, because one of the things that always keeps me watching everything that you do is the work that you do out there. So if you don't mind, again, just sharing what it is that you do, Natasha, in the community.
Sure. So with the Black People's Community Justice Center, I coordinate their calendar. So of clients. So anyone who has a court date, I organize it, when, where, which courtroom, who's the judge, who's their public defender or their hired attorney, and then publicize that so that we can get people in the community to come to the either the trials, come to the bail hearings, um, come out to most important court dates where support will make a difference
Yeah.
in the eyes of the judge.
Mhm.
And then I attend most of these court dates. I'll take time off, take PTO, and go and sit at different trials all day.
Yes.
Um, with the Freedom
When are you
Fight,
going to law school?
I actually started.
Did you really?
I
Stop playing.
was just hard to do working full time when there was no part time law school in
Right.
Charlotte. Trying to do it online was just great.
I love it. I love it.
I am a certified paralegal, so I do have a legal background.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Law is my first love.
yes.
I mean, my goal was to be a lawyer. Life changed. So I'm at heart. I'm a lawyer. I love law. I love studying law. I love complicated cases and solving those cases. So yeah, I love that touch. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Use that passion and knowledge for the greater good. Things like developing writing campaigns.
Right.
Folks in jail get lonely. They're cut off from contact and communication. Just write, become a
Yeah.
pen pal with
Yeah.
some day, raise money to put funds on their books
Yes. Yes.
because nothing is free in jail. I mean, hell, it even costs you money to put money on their books.
Does it really?
It does.
Wow. Wow. But I'm sure it's appreciated.
Oh,
Any little
yeah,
thing
yeah,
is
any little thing
appreciated.
appreciated. Um, Making sure their public defenders follow up with their clients.
Mhm.
A lot of the time, they're overloaded with their casework, and some of them, frankly, don't care.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
Is
they
un-
don't.
and their client won't hear from them until the day of a hearing.
Mhm.
we have to, kind of put our boots on their necks and make sure. How are you representing your client well if you're not even talking to your
Talking
client?
to them.
You're
Yeah.
not.
Right. Right. Yes.
We write letters of support to the judges. So aside from having a physical presence in the courtroom, for people who can't get there,
Right.
if we have 50 letters of support for someone who's having a bail hearing, the judge might feel more comfortable releasing them on their own recognizance
Right. Right.
or setting a low bail because they know they have so much community.
Family support. Yeah. The community. Yeah.
With freedom fighting missionaries, what they focus on, again, with the reentry population, is job training,
Hmm.
getting them identification, getting them health insurance, and getting them housed.
Yes.
It's
All important things.
a lot of work, but we're trying to keep people off the street and give them the best shot at being successful when they get a second chance.
Yes. Because the percentage is high that they will repeat if those foundational things are not there for them when they do get out. It's I could speak to that because I have unfortunately family members that I could speak to on that, and just hearing them talk and say I don't belong in this society because I've been out of it for so long. I I know that, so I definitely get it. One last question for you, if I may. Diversity, equity, and inclusion under attack. And what's your thoughts on diversity, equity, and inclusion?
I find it funny, actually, because folks apparently didn't realize until DEI initiatives started getting rolled back that white women are the biggest beneficiaries of DEI and affirmative action.
Can you say that again? Because I don't think everybody knows that. I keep saying that.
White women are the biggest beneficiaries of DEI and affirmative action. Black people account for approximately 4% of DEI positions.
Yes.
It's not about giving us a step up or putting an unqualified Black person into a position.
It's about
It's about
expanding the field.
the playing field.
Yes.
You got your good old boys network and nepotism. So now, instead of a mediocre white man getting all of these positions, we're going to open our eyes to acknowledge and consider diverse candidates who are more qualified or overqualified for a lot of these positions and give them a chance.
And our government right now is an example why DEI is necessary.
Exactly.
I mean, it's playing out right in front of us. And with the company that I'm with, and I don't, because my opinions are mine and mine only. I am thankful for the fact that um, we are not only continuing our DEI initiatives, we're expanding them.
Excellent.
And there are dimensions of diversity, equity, inclusion that people don't know. They think it's just race based. It's not.
That's another
It's
eye opener for a lot of folks.
they
DEI.
don't they just do not I mean, there is just like woke being a four-letter word, the narrative around woke, and I've never called myself woke. I do say stay woke. I've never called myself woke. I mean, we're from New York. I'm sure you've heard the term conscious brother or conscious sister. I've never called myself woke at all. But woke just like woke became a four-letter word, DE and D, diversity, equity, inclusion is a curse word, it seems like. But the dimensions of DE and I, people don't even realize it. They don't even understand. So many times where I've been in conversations and people talk about the negatives of DE and I say, okay, what does it mean to you? First and only thing they go to is race base.
Right.
So I just
Qualified Black people are taking their jobs. They don't
they're,
know that covers veterans, that covers disabled people, it covers LGBTQ people. I mean, it covers so many different communities.
age. In my office, I have people who, quite honestly, without diversity, equity, inclusion, they would walk them out because of their age. Never mind the fact that they are sound mind and they are killing their roles. Age. That's all DEI, and people don't understand it.
Things like accommodation for people who are differently abled.
Yes,
That's
yes,
a part of DEI.
yes, yes. Yeah.
People don't realize. I mean, there's so much. It's not just race-based hiring. There is so much more
So
to
much more
do
to it,
than that.
and like you said, the number one beneficiaries of DEI are white women, and they're feeling it now.
Exactly.
So you 92% continue to sit back and sip your tea. Natasha, I thank you for joining me. Um, I I love you. I mean, I love everything you do. Keep doing what you do. You know I'ma keep doing what I do. We have different lanes, but you know what? We still want to get to the same end result, and that is freedom for all people. All. Like I don't just say Black Lives Matter, I say all Black Lives Matter because it is so important to understand that even within our race, there are different dimensions of blackness that
Exactly.
needs to be acknowledged, loved, and understood. So I
Right.
love you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for joining me last minute. I
Oh,
just knew you had to come through.
I love you too, my brother. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a great experience.
I'm gonna send you
Connect
I'm gonna
more
send you
often.
the link. Yes, I'm gonna send you the link so you could have it on your page so your people could show how dope you are. I have somebody on here, Jantra, who's saying Natasha is very wise. She talked about look at what Marcus Garvey accomplished in a short time. You know what? I'm never gonna give up. The day that I decide to give up is the day that the Lord should say, "Come on, Jerome, it's time for you to go home," because this is too important to me, and I'm willing to die for my people, just like you have said that you're willing to do the same. So thank you, my Buy Black for Life family. Whether you're watching this live or on replay, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any additional questions, put them in the chat. If it's not for me, it's for Natasha. We will both respond. And I will say, for the love of our people, I ask you all to please continue to buy Black for Life. Thank you.